saluda al centro esta vez. Sí, 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 no. El balón le cae a Eto'o, intenta controlar delante del área. La pelota para Leo Messi. Vamos, Leo. La juega en corto. El disparo.
Hey, what's up? We're here at the Camp Nou Stadium, home of FC Barcelona, one of the winningest sporting franchises on the planet. We're going to talk about how to learn and how to win, and they are one and the same. You see, FC Barcelona has been incredibly successful over the last, say, 2 decades in soccer. They've been one of the dominant forces in that sport, winning tons of their domestic league, the Spanish league, tons of the Champions League, which is maybe the biggest prize in all of soccer. And they've been known for having some of the most insane players in the world, including maybe the greatest player of all time, Lionel Messi. Question is, what is their secret to their success? And I'm sure you'd get a lot of different answers for that, but here's my answer. The secret to their success is their developmental program and their focus on the fundamentals. See, those moments of genius that you see in sports, those moments of genius you see in game, when you see like highlight reels, you see infield, those kind of things, where do they come from? They come from years and years of practice on the fundamentals, right? That genius isn't just like something sporadically coming up in the moment. What it is it's years of pattern recognition, years of ingraining the right habits so that in the right moment, the right thing will come out, right? Joshua Waitzkin in his book, The Art of Learning, which is a great book you should pick up sometime, he talks about this idea, he calls it numbers to leave numbers, right? And this is his philosophy of learning, which I very much agree with. The idea is you get super, super technical. You go over something so slow, so perfect. Make sure your form is exact. Make sure you're doing it the right way. Even if it's not game applicable, you get the fundamentals down so well that they become utterly ingrained. They become the most natural, most like the easiest thing for you to possibly do. And then what will happen is once those fundamentals are down, what it essentially does is, number one, you're never going to play badly. Once your fundamentals are good, you're always going to play at least at a certain level. But even beyond that, when the fundamentals are handled, you no longer have to think about them, right? You have your brain freed up to do other things. So think about this, taking the sport of soccer, right? When you're first learning, just getting the ball to go where you want to is difficult. You have to practice and practice and practice and learn that, and it's very difficult. It feels awkward. You see people that are bad at soccer, and they look bad at soccer. They look uncoordinated, they look awkward. At a certain point, you get to the point where you can move the ball around, you can do the right things, but maybe you're focusing a lot on that. When you really have the skill down is when you have the skill down perfectly and you don't have to look at the ball anymore, right? You just know where the ball is. The ball is an extension of you. Maybe you have to check in every once in a while, but for the most part, you can get up and scan the field, and now your brain is free to think about tactics, to think about strategy, to think about planning ahead and what do you want to do next. And that's where you're going to get to those moments of genius. It's when the fundamentals have become so ingrained that your brain is freed up to think about the advanced things. And then the advanced things have become so ingrained that your brain is free to think about anything and everything, right? And the game comes to you, the game slows down, everything gets easier from there. But it all comes from the fundamentals. If you don't have your fundamentals down, if you can't do the basic moves without looking at the ball, you cannot look up at the field, you cannot think tactically, you cannot think strategically. So all those moments of genius you see fundamentally have to come from the fundamentals, and it's the same thing in game, right? If you're focused on how do I even know what to say, you're going to have trouble building attraction. If you're focused on how do I build attraction, you're going to have a hard time planning ahead, building logistics, handling the friends, handling how do I get the girl home and solving problems, right? The biggest thing you can do to help the advanced things in your game is to get your fundamentals so nailed on that they're instincts, all right? I'll tell you something funny that happens with me in game. A lot of times I'll be talking to a girl and she'll be giving me this barrage of shit tests and I'll just like pass through them, handle them all, no big deal. And some student will come up to me and be like, wow, you passed all those shit tests. And my response is, what shit tests? I didn't even notice them because I wasn't thinking about the shit tests. I was thinking about what the shit tests mean, which is she likes me, but she's not sure. And I was thinking 3 steps ahead to the problems I'm going to solve, how I'm going to get her home, how I'm going to win over her friends, because the shit tests were just a matter of course. I expect that. In fact, I prefer that because it's so second nature for me, and I just know it's increasing the energy of the set. That's what advanced looks like. Advanced does not look like, you know, this one weird esoteric skill. You don't know how to, you know, this like backflip, full lutz, land over the head, behind the legs. No, that's not what advanced is. Advanced is when the fundamentals are so owned by you that you do them perfectly without thinking about them. right? And that's when you have consistent, amazing results. And that's what wins, right? In any kind of competitive endeavor, what you have as your game is not what you can do, with 10 tries if you're able to mess up 9 out of the 10, right? What you have as your game is what you can do repeatedly, instinctively, in the spur of the moment with the pressure on. And what that is getting your fundamentals handled. All right, so Barcelona in particular is a great place to be shooting this because they have essentially this place called the Masia, which is basically their youth academy, and it is known for producing some of the best prospects that have ever come out in all of soccer. And they're roughly, loosely kind of based on the old Dutch philosophy, which is getting the fundamentals down first, right? In the 1970s, the Dutch team were just really known for this. They called it total football. Is every player on the field has skills. Every player on the field could play every position. Every player on the field loves the ball, loves having the ball at his feet, loves what he can do with it. And that philosophy has grown in many ways into this, which is many Champions Leagues, many league titles, best player in the world, all right? But those brilliancies, those moments of greatness, they come from very, very humble beginnings. They come from hours of work and dedication of doing things the right way, ingraining good habits rather than bad, and making it the most natural thing in the world for you. All right, so I really want to point out that is how you learn. You learn on the training field. You learn through repetition that it shouldn't be boring, but it may not be glamorous. All right, it's those fundamentals that are going to make you great, not that moment of like crazy try-hard aspiration. All right, so just a little thought into how to learn, how to win. And remember, if you're trying to win, you need to be consistent. You need to be doing something that's reliable and predictable for you. So that, again, goes back to the fundamentals. All right, that's my piece, how to be advanced, how to learn. Hope you took something from it, and I'll see you next time.